So let's go to Elijah Magnier, a military and security analyst. He joins us now from Brussels. So, Elijah, let's start with your reaction to this news that we are getting from the Israeli military that Hassan Nasrallah has been killed in their attack on Beirut, on this residential area of Beirut overnight. Just a caution, once again, this is not a confirmation from Hezbollah. This is just still something we are just hearing from the Israeli military.
It is obvious that after more than 17 hours of the attack, we have no news from Hezbollah, which is highly unlikely in case the target is still alive and if they have reached the location where the target was. And at least in case of being alive, we would have had a communique from Hezbollah or a voice message or at least an announcement by one of the leaders that are part of the organization that say Nasrallah is alive. But we hadn't had that at all since yesterday, 6:20 afternoon local time, which means that it's most likely people who were there from the size of the crater that was left with all these bombs that could be GBU-28, GBU-72, that nobody could have come out alive. And we also understand that Sayyid Nasrallah was there with a meeting with the top commanders, and I think they all received, and they all were there, and they all faced the same destiny.
Just looking at another statement coming through from the an Israeli military spokesperson describing Hassan Nasrallah as one of the world's most influential terrorists. That's according to the Israeli military. What more can you tell us about Hassan Nasrallah and his role in the organization? What role did he play exactly in the group?
Sayyid Nasrallah joined a long time ago, and before 1982, the ideal and the ideology of the Dawa party that was led by Sayyid Muhammad Baqir Sadr. And then at the victory of the Iranian Revolution in Iran, 1979, Sayyid Muhammad Baqir asked all his followers to join the Imam Khomeini at that time. And then there was Sayyid Musa Sadr, who was in Lebanon and gave the uprising of the armed branch of the Shia. And this ideology started to spread in the country. So when Hezbollah first started the operation against the Israelis who invaded Lebanon under the pretext of Peace of Galilee and to expel the PLO and another organization, a group of people stood against them, starting from Khaldi at the entrance of Beirut. And after that, he joined the same organization that decided to fight the Israelis. When Sheikh Subhi Tfaili was selected as the first Secretary General and then was replaced by Sayyid Abbas Musawi, Sayyid Nasrallah went to Iran to study theology in Qom. And following the assassination of Sayyid Abbas Musawi in 1982 in the south of Lebanon, Iran asked him to return and to lead the organization that was a bit scattered. And he managed to bring it all together along a small group, an inner circle that remained with him. And a few of these were assassinated in the process today and in the last few weeks. So this is where Sayyid Nasrallah gained a strong charisma among the population who saw in him as a leader. And following the assassination of the Brigadier General Qassem Soleimani, the head of the IRGC Quds Brigade in Iraq in January 2020, Sayyid Nasrallah became the non-declared leader of the axis of the resistance that made of Yemen, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Palestine, but by coordinating with all these fronts and coordinating with Iran. And this is why he acquired a large knowledge of the capability of all the members, but also he knew how to deal with the Iranians and how to be an organic part of Iran, but at the same time prevail, allow the interest of Lebanon to prevail above any other interest, keeping in mind that his focus was on Palestine and fighting the US hegemony in the Middle East. And for that, he gained a lot of popularity, and it's going to be extremely hard for the people of Lebanon who believe in the resistance to accept this assassination and the news of his death, because there is no other leader of the same charisma, but not the leadership, but the charisma that Hassan Nasrallah enjoyed in Lebanon and throughout the Middle East among those who supported the resistance.
And Elijah, what does the fact that the Israeli army were able to get intelligence on his whereabouts, what does that say about their intelligence gathering capability, not just on this latest strike, but the recent attacks on other senior commanders on Hezbollah? I mean, Hassan Nasrallah, we know, was a very, very secretive man. He knew that he was on Israel's hit list, so it's not like he would have shared his information publicly or his whereabouts publicly. So what does it tell us about the Israelis' capabilities?
There are two things. There are indeed the Israeli capability, but there is also the time that this operation took to identify the target and then to prepare the several aircraft to hit the exact location that took at least half a day. But I'm going to talk about the Israeli capability first, as you asked me. So first of all, there are several processes before identifying a target and then give the order for the hit. And that requires a work that the Israelis have been working on since 2006, the second war on Lebanon, that Israel never digested the outcome because Israel went unprepared to the war and considered that not achieving its objective was a failure, and Hezbollah considered that as a victory. And since then, they were preparing. And the preparation is not to prepare the army only, but to draw a map of everything that's happening in Lebanon, including the communication system, gathering human intelligence, electronic intelligence, open source intelligence, but above all, geospatial intelligence that involve satellite. And these satellite information is not only the surveillance and the reconnaissance, but also they can identify the location of anything that is under the ground. And that is something that the satellite can offer today in its advanced capability to identify the hidden parts, but also capability that are very deep under the ground, and that with the support of the United States and with its technology. So it is not only monitoring the mobile phone, because Sayyid Nasrallah did not move with a mobile phone, and also his bodyguards, I've seen them a few times, they have a very close circuit communication, connected only to one another, and they were always present with him in a way where there is no outside interference or any frequency that can come out to be received. Therefore, the security around Sayyid Nasrallah that was known as a target, because again, when the Israelis started to target every single commander, starting with Fuad Shukr, it was clear that the Israelis want to kill all the responsible and all the commanders, including Sayyid Nasrallah. We've seen that in his last speech when it was registered and was not alive, because that also avoiding the interception of communication that can be received.
And also, Elijah, we're running out of time. We're heading towards the top of the hour. I just want to ask you one more brief question about the bombs that were actually used. I understand they were bunker bombs, bunker buster bombs that we are discussing here that can weigh anywhere between 2,000 and 5,000 pounds, penetrate 30 meters of earth. We know the Geneva Convention outlaws the use of these sort of bombs in densely populated areas, which is where they were used in this particular case. The Israelis will continue to use the defense that, this is justifiable because they've now managed to kill Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, who they consider to be a terrorist. But legally, are they justified in the civilian collateral damage that has come as a result of this?
Well, first of all, it's important not to focus on the assassination of Sayyid Nasrallah and his team only, but on the several buildings that have all disappeared under the ground with all the inhabitants. We're talking about several hundreds of people. It is absolutely considered as a war crime and crime against humanity, and they are not in any way considered as collateral damage. The percentage of the people who are killed in such a populated and dense area, it is not justifiable. But we've seen Israel and the Americans covering it, committing all the war crimes against humanity, intent of genocide, under our watchful eyes and the international community watchful eyes in Gaza and in the West Bank, and the world did nothing. So therefore, it is not surprising that the focus is going toward one man and the assassination of one man rather than hundreds of civilians that perished because of the Israeli strike.
OK, thank you so much for your time. Elijah Magnier, military and security analyst, speaking to us there from Brussels.